वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. I welcome everyone who are online and also who are in the temple. Today, after a long break, we had a break of 4 Saturdays. I had some urgent work to go to India, and that is why I had to make a break, although I don't like to have a break here. Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. There should not be any break, there should not be any pramad, any laziness in the Swadhyaya Pravachan as well as doing the Swadhyaya. However, we had 4 Saturdays break, and now we are meeting again on 20th of April today, 20th April 2024. And because there was a big gap, it is necessary that we should have some kind of a recap where we were. So I will chant the sloka where we were. It was 13th sloka of 3rd chapter. I will chant the sloka, and also then we will see where we were on the 3rd chapter and what we were thinking about, just to keep the track and get into the line again. So the sloka was 13th sloka of 3rd chapter. Yagya sishtashina santo muchyante sarvakil vishai Bhunjate te tvagam papa ye pachantyatmakaranat. This is the sloka we were looking at. But before that, we had some kind of a continuity. Remember, Gita has to be read in continuity. We cannot say that I will open up any chapter and read it, because we will not have the reference of the previous sloka. Our mind and intellect will not be developed enough to see what is the situation and how we will be going forward in the world as a human being. So it's very important that we go in sequence, and that is why we are going in sequence also, and we were on the 13th sloka. So what we studied before, in couple of chapters before, number 1 which we studied was word Yagya. In our mind, the Yagya means there is a fire, there is a holy chanting, there are people sitting around in nice good clothes, and also there will be pujas and prasad and all that. But we went further into the detail what is a Yagya, and probably today we will see more detail and a proof what is a Yagya. It is not only limited to doing the fire and prayers. So what are its contents, how Yagna can bring the fruits and the peace together in the whole society. That is what we looked at. We also looked at, while doing the Yagya, while doing karma, what should be the status of mind, what should we be thinking about, what should be our psychology while doing any work, and by doing or by maintaining that psychology, that is how it becomes a Yagya. That is what we looked at. Then we studied about the Devata, because the Yagya and Devata are combined. When you do the Yagya, you do it the devotion of Devata, and then Devata gives you something. That is what is the understanding of Yagya. The Yagya has got a purpose behind it. So who are Devata? Which are the Devata? Do they live up in the sky? Do they live up in the heaven? Are they superior souls? Are we inferior souls? Are we slaves? And are we just the followers of their wishes? Who are Devata? Who are they? And that is what we understood, that each person who has got the skills inherently developed and inculcated into their being right from the birth. So everybody is Devata. Devata, one who gives. Devata, Dev means who gives. Jo deta hai wo Devata. So one who gives is Devata. The skills which we have, the skills which we possess, we are Devata. Each of our individual and the energy which is making us to work that way is Devata. That is why we are Devata. It is not up in the sky, it is right on the earth over here. And then we saw the interdependability within the society, the rich and resourceful versus the people who are not having anything, who are poor, who are less resourceful, or who are not having any resources. How they both can survive together happily. The only method is Yagya. That is what we looked at. And how the survival, and it's not only survival, it is a happy life. Survival is one thing, happy life is another thing. People can say, oh, we are surviving. Surviving doesn't give happiness. Surviving means just breathing and eating. Surviving doesn't give happiness in life. So, not only to survive, the basic functionality, the basic requirement of the life, but also the happiness in the life can be brought in through the Yagya, which is done by both resourceful as well as the people who are not that fortunate. And then we talked about the ownership. Who owns? This is the biggest question in the world. Who owns? We say that I own this house, I own this money, I own this land, I own this industries, I own this degree, intellectual properties. Yeah. If you are an owner, then you should be able to take it with you. But we all know that we cannot take it with us. It is impossible to take anything from here. For anybody, Alexander the Great told that while I am dying, when I am already dead, and I am in the cascade, keep my hands open outside to show that the conqueror of the world is going empty-handed. That is what he told. So if you are the owner, then the proof of that will be that we should be able to take it with us wherever we want. But we are not. We are not. That means we are not the owner. We have rented the place. We are not the owner. We can use it, but you do not own it. We don't own our body. We don't own our positions. That is what we talked about, the ownership. And when we are not the owner, there is a duty coming along with it. When we are not the owner of the things which we possess, which include our body, then what we should be doing? We should be responsible to use it. When you buy a rent-a-car, for example, you take a rent-a-car. The rent-a-car guy asks you, do you want an insurance for any damages happening to the car? If you say no, I don't want it, and you by chance indulge into an accident, what happens? You have to pay for it because you are not the owner of it. If you are owner of your car and you by chance bang it somewhere on the corner in your driveway, okay, you may not pay. You may eventually pay by fixing it, but nobody will ask you to pay for it, for that damage. Why? Because you are the owner. So called. We are even not owner of the car. Otherwise, we would have taken our biggest car. I have a Ferrari. When I die, I will take Ferrari with me wherever I go. So we are not the owner anyway. But the point was that if the owner is there, they are authorized to take the actions whichever and whatever they want to. But we are not the owner. And this concept of not being a owner is trusteeship. Many people in many parts of the world has tried to work towards it. Trusteeship. I am not the owner, I am the trustee of my body. I am not the owner, I am the trustee of the things which I own as resources in my life. Trusteeship. Although that is not a complete word, because Yagya is a complete word. Yagya is, and the duty, the karma is a complete word. Trusteeship is not complete word. Because it still makes the bifurcation. Anyway, so we looked at the word owner. Who is the owner? And then we looked at the word definition of the thief. If you are not the owner and you are given something, then you are obliged to do the actions as prescribed. And if you do not do that prescribed action, then we are a thief. Bunjatete tvagam papa. Yes, that is where we were. The responsibility of golden age people, and then we talked about the, how it is applicable in today's life. Responsibility of the golden age people, the people who are above 55, 60 plus. They feel they are owner. Somebody will ask, okay, so what is the advantage? What is the application of this thinking of ownership? Well, if you think about it, and if these thoughts are inculcated into the mind of the people in the society, what will happen? People will start behaving responsibly. When I am 55, 60, I am not the owner of the skills which I possess. So what I should be doing? I should be giving it back to the society from where I learned. And we talked about many things like the education system. Any student I observed today in North America, in Canada, has got $70,000, $70,000 debt on an average on their head when they come out of a graduation. And that degree doesn't help them anyway to get a job. University professors are taking $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 salary to teach something which will not give them even a job of $5,000 a month. So the ownership, if I am 55, 60, I will go back to the society and teach for free. For free. The skills which I possess. If I am an electrician, I will teach electrical technology to the students who want to become electrician. What will happen? All the institutions will become free. That is what the Gurukul Paddhati was. The teachers are free to teach. They don't take any money. University is run by the people who are retired. The land and the equipment are being given by the king or the political system, whatever is there. Think how much the education will become free for all and applicable, and the best technology, because those people who have worked for years together in their area. So those people who are retired or who are going to retire, if they do not execute, if they do not give back the skills which they have earned. And then we talked about it's not only technology or science or anything, even the smallest thing, like if I am a 80-year-old man and I have got nothing to do, I can't do it with my body, I am weak, but I can still do the babysitting. There is a couple next door who wants to go out and he has got a 5-year-old child to be taken care for 2 hours. I can give them a hand. I can say, okay, I will take care of your kid. It's not big technological part. It is not the training and all the hi-fi, sci-fi. Even the smallest thing. All the ladies who are excellent in their cooking in various ways. Why don't you open up? This is what is required. That is called as the giving back, the ownership and the trusteeship. These are two different things. Ownership and trusteeship. We are not the owner, we are just a renter, we have just rented it, and that is where we were. And then this Bunjate Te Tvagam Papa was the one where we stopped. Pap, definition of the pap. यज्ञ के अवशिष्ट अन्न को खाने वाले श्रेष्ठ पुरुष सब पापों से मुक्त हो जाते हैं. One who takes the resources, who uses the resources after the yagya is done, the remanence of the yagya. But जो लोग केवल स्वयं के लिए ही पकाते हैं, those who work only for themselves. In other words, they utilize their skills. They utilize the available resources only for themselves, are creating a scene. पापों को खाते. Here is the definition of scene. Sometimes people say that I don't do anything wrong with the people. Sometimes people say that I am a good person, I don't beat anyone, I pay the taxes correctly and all that. So I am a good person and I am not doing any sin. That will be an incomplete definition of sin. Not doing your duty, not offering it back to the society is also a sin. Because you have worked only for yourself. Bhunjatete tvagam papa. The definition of sin. Not doing the righteous action is pap. That is a sin. Sin doesn't mean always that killing somebody, beating somebody, stealing from someone is a very narrow definition of sin. Here it is very clearly written. If you are not doing your prescribed duty in a righteous way, you are doing a sin. S-I-N. Sin. Pap. Consuming only for oneself and not doing it by the Yagya way, Yagniya way is a pap. So what is the meaning, the remanence of the Yagya? What does it mean? The resources remaining after its due distribution to the righteous people. That is remanence of a Yagya. Why do we need it? To continue the process of Yagya. If somebody is taking too much, we know, sometimes there is a rate, REIT. Sometimes there are, real estate investment trust. What do? They don't work. They just take the money. They give huge dividend, but then eventually it is eating away from the fund itself, and it goes on reducing. You are eating away from your own funds. In the same way, if doing the Yagya will not be completed and people will not be giving enough amount of resources to continue the Yagya will stop. Somebody will ask, what is the Yagya, what's the definition and how the contribution? And we took last time the example of a family. Imagine there is a family, grandfather, granddaughter, grandkids, grandparents, and they are all eating on a dining table. They are all having the amount of food what they need. They are all eating the food what they like. Who brought the food? The younger generation, the person who is earning the money is providing the money, resources to buy the food. The woman of the house, women in the house are cooking the food. They are bringing the food from the market and they are cooking the food. Kids are neither cooking the food, kids are neither earning the money, but they are having equal share. They are having the share what they need during the eating. Nobody tells them that you can't eat anything from the dining table because you didn't work. They work in their own area. They do the study. They try to grow. They become obedient to the parents. They try to develop good cultural habits. That is their duty at that moment. Older generation, they take care of the grandkids. They take care of the house. They do normal, regular chores, whatever they can do. They will do gardening, cleaning, whatever they want to do. They will teach the grandkids various subjects, whatever is required. So this small family is representation of the society. In the society also there will be some highly skilled people, some more intellectual people, some not intellectual people. Different level of people will be there, different intellectual level, different capacities, different resourcefulness, different ways of thinking. But Yagya will bring them together under one umbrella. And that is where the Yagya is required. That is how the Yagya is. Yagya will bring them together. That is the example of Yagya and how the Yagya can be applied or Yagya is applicable in the society. That is how it is. And Yagya needs a sacrifice. Sacrifice doesn't mean always killing someone. We know the story of Kunta Mata and the Bakasur. You know, when the Pandavas were in exile, when they ran away from the Varanavat, they went into a village. And there, in that village, there was a trouble of Bakasur. Everybody knows the story, so I may not repeat the story over here in a long way. But what we see in that Brahmin family, the people are ready to give their best. The father is telling that I have already lived my life, so I should go as a feeding to the Bakasur. The mother is telling, no, the father is required for protection and earning money. I will be going to the Bakasur. And same way the kid is telling, the son is telling, no, the son's duty is to see that the father is happy. My father has got so much work done for me, and how can I send him to the Bakasur? And same way the daughter is telling. That is what it means, that is what it shows. How the family should be thinking about each other. And that is Yagya. That is how we work in the society also in the same way. Contributions with everyone. And there is no inequality among them for as a behavior or as a resource distribution in both ways. Inequality in terms of behavior or resource distribution. Both is not present in the case of Yagya. When the Yagya Bhava is there, it is not there. And in nature also we see that. You know, the balance of distribution. Elephant gets the amount of food which they need. And ant gets its own food. Everybody gets their stomach filled in. By the time it is night, both of them have eaten the amount of food which they want. The nature has given an equal amount. Equal also, the important part is, equal doesn't mean equal in like kilo, like 1 kilo to one person and 1 kilo to other person. That is not equal. The definition of equal has to be understood here. Equal means the amount which is necessary for the purpose. That is equal. In the case of elephant and ant, if they are given equal, if that much amount of food is given to the ant as an equal amount, the ant will die. Ant cannot eat that much food. So ant will get a grain which is enough to fill up the stomach. And same way with the elephant, a big, lots of grass. So equal doesn't mean the amount in equal or even the type in equal. Equal means depending on the person, depending on the situation, the amount which is required as a optimum requirement, that is equal. One of the problem in the education systems is that we are giving equal education to everyone. What happens? Some of the people drop out. By the time they are 7th or 8th grade, they drop out because they cannot take that education. Their intellectual capability is much less. They cannot take that education. So when we say we give equal education, it is actually unequal education. When we say equal opportunity, some people will pass, some people will not pass. The definition of equality has to be redefined. And that is defined in Yagya. In Shrimad Bhagvad Gita, the Yagya is very clearly written. How the equality can be reached? It will be through the Yagya. Even you will see that when the Yagya is being done, in the Devata, in the fire, each Devata has got a different samidha. For one Devata, you put something, for other Devata, you put another thing. You don't say that for every deity there is the same puja. नहीं करते हैं ना. गणपति का श्लोक अलग है, महादेव जी का श्लोक अलग है. बोलेंगे वहां भी इक्वालिटी कर दो. Equality among everyone. Only one sloka for all the deities. Will it work? It will not. Definition of equality has to be understood. हर एक की थाली में 4 रोटियां देंगे. The kid who is 4-year-old will not be able to eat 4 rotis. And the person who is young, is 18-year, 19-year-old teenager, he will need 8 chapatis, 8 rotis. So if you say that I will give equal in the society, it will not work. It will not work. Equal means the righteous people getting the amount optimum as per their existing requirement at that moment. That is equality. That is equality. A person who is not intellectual that much, for example, is put into the same school with the same course. What will happen? There will be a failure. And then they will be told, you were given opportunity to study, you didn't study, now you will not get a job, you will do the labor job for the rest of your life. Is that equality? Does the society work like that? Will the society be happy like that? It will not. Yagya defines the equality in the society. How the Yagya to be done? What does the Yagya bring? We'll go further because it's a very important part here. How the Yagya and the impacts of Yagya. The next sloka is extremely important. It is showing the cycle. How the cycle. Next 2 slokas shows the cycle of the world. How the world is going into a cycle. So I'll chant the 14th sloka here. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha Yagnad bhavati parjanyo yagnah karma samudbhavaha Annad bhavati bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha Annad bhavati bhutani. The samasta prani, everything in the world is created through the food. Without food, nothing is there. If there is no food, people will die. Insects, animals, birds, fish, everybody will die if there is no food. So, annat bhavati bhutani. Here there are 2 meanings. One is survival, another is a generation existing. How the new generation is generated? Through the food. So, the food is creating annat bhavati bhutani. Samasta prani anna se utpanna hote hain. Yeah, the whole world is created is generated by the anna, by the food, and we'll talk about the different definitions of food as well as the bhavati, created. And then parjanyad anna sambhava, and the food is created through the parjanya. Parjanya means rain. The rain brings the food, and the food is generating the people or the world. Yagnat bhavati parjanyo, and the yagya is creating the rain. So anna is creating the people, rain is creating the anna, yagya is creating the rain, and yagya karma samudbhava, yagna karma samudbhava, and yagya is created through the karma. This is the definition. This is the anvay of this sloka. Very simple. It is showing the cycle that the food is creating people, the rain is creating food, the yagya is creating rain, and karma is creating yagya. This is the cycle which is being told here. Let us see the physical meaning and then the real meaning of it. First of all, annat bhavati bhutani. Is it really necessary for a God? When the God says that the anna, the food is creating the people, is necessary for the people. In a book like Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, is it really necessary for God to explain us that the animals and everybody needs the food to live and exist? Is it necessary? What will be the purpose of the God to tell this sloka? It looks very simple. Parjanyad anna sambhava. When it rains, the grains grow. That may be physical meaning. That may be, may be true as a only physical, but we are not here just to see the physical meaning. We are here to understand what does the God wants to say us. Is it really necessary to see this sentence? Is it so simple? Is it not a well-known fact? The physical meaning is there. We definitely need food to exist. We need food to exist. Without food, we cannot exist. And also, as per our scriptures, we are created through the food. The jiva, the life is put into the body of a female gender of anybody, animal, human, fish, anyone. The life is put in through the food. It is told, खाने के द्वारा अंदर आत्मा आती है. फेटस के अंदर आत्मा कहाँ से आती है? खाने के द्वारा आती है. It is coming through the food. So that is why it is told that you should have a pure food, you should have a clean food, you should have a clean mind and pure thoughts while eating the food. That is how you should be eating. Then a good new generation will come into your generations. Good people will be born in your generations. So that is the whole science of process of reproduction and the implantation of the soul. But we are not here to talk about the physical part of it. Annat bhavati bhutani. We all know anna. We all need anna to survive. Anna means what? We have seen some people, very rich people, suicide. Do they not have enough food to eat? What was missing in their life? So here the definition of anna is more wider. We have talked about this topic in detail when we talked about the Maslow's triangle a while ago, almost 10-15 Pravachan before. So I will not repeat it. Those people who are interested can go in Google and look at Maslow's triangle of need. He has used the word need. The only difference is that the word need is incorrect. It is incomplete. But anyway, so we know that anna is required by anyway. But parjanyat anna sambhava. Anna, the requirement, the necessities of life are created through what? Parjanya, the rain. The rain causes the food. What type of rain? Is it only water? What is the meaning of the rain over here? Whenever there is a drought, we see people talking that we should have a yagya to get the rains. Parjanya yagya. Whenever there is a drought, कभी-कभी drought हो जाता है, दुष्काल हो जाता है. People say यज्ञ करो बारिश आएगी. यज्ञ करो बारिश आएगी. And people do yagya also for that. हाँ, यज्ञ करने से बारिश कैसे आएगी? How will the rain will come through the yagya? What is a yagya and what is a barish? What is rain? Rain is representation of two things, equality and motherhood. Rain is representing two things, equality and motherhood. How it is equality and motherhood? Number one, rain falls everywhere, irrespective of what is the place. On a rich man's roof and the poor man's hut, at both places the rain will go equally. The water is distributed to equally. Even a dog will drink the same water, and a man will also eat the same water, and an elephant will also eat the same water, drink the same water. Equal. No partiality. A bad man will also be able to drink the same amount of water which a good person will also drink. No distinguishing between a bad person and good person. Yeah, when I was a young guy, I was always asking, why the God is giving rain for the bad people? He is a bad person. He doesn't do anything good for the world. Why he should get a rain water for him? हाँ, बारिश का पानी बुरे लोगों को क्यों होना चाहिए? भगवान अच्छे हैं तो. If the God is good, why does he give the rain for the bad people? होना ही नहीं चाहिए. या तो भगवान अच्छे नहीं है, इसलिए बदमाश लोगों के लिए भी पानी देते हैं, वो पानी पीते हैं और बदमाशी करते हैं. नहीं होना चाहिए उसके लिए रिसोर्सेज. क्यों होना चाहिए? हाँ, वो लोग खाना खाते हैं, ताकतवर बनते हैं और दूसरों को परेशान करते हैं. ऐसे लोगों को करना ही क्यों चाहिए? I was having thousands of questions. Yeah. Why should the gods give boon to the bad people? एक राक्षस था. We know all this, the stories. Many Puran stories. कोई भी ले लो, उठा लो. Take any story. There was a demon. He was doing तप करता था. उसने तप किया. Brahma ji प्रसन्न हो गए. Brahma ji became prasanna, and then he gave him a boon. And this fellow did all the bad things in the world. पूरे त्रिलोक में हाहाकार हो गया. Is Brahma ji not having a simple brain? ये आदमी को अगर हम उसको वरदान देंगे, वो परेशान करेगा दुनिया को. इतना समझ में नहीं आता है. Why did he give him the boons to those demons who created lots of problems? And then we have got all the Purana, and even Avatar has to come to kill those people. रावण को वरदान दे दिया, राम जी को आना पड़ा. Anyway, I think today we have got a marriage. Rashmi bhai, is it going to start now? Marriage? I think it will start. So today we have got a marriage over here. So you know what? We will stop here. We'll come to this sloka again, Annat Bhavati Bhutani, next Saturday again at 10 to 11. Till then, I wish everyone a good time and enjoy your, start with the spring and all that. Take care of your health, and we will meet again next Saturday between 10 to 11 for this sloka number 14. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namo.